Tech TV. Experience educational television.
It is indeed a critical developmental issue, since society is better off when all of its members are empowered and offered the opportunity to contribute to its advancement. A society that discriminates on the basis of gender has been compared to an athlete who, having two legs, insists on competing in a race on only one leg. All effort geared towards increasing the participation of women in all aspects of societal life is therefore commendable.
Gender equity is based on the principle of fair share. It is seen as a stage in the process of achieving gender equality. The interest here is not just the activities or the processes put in place or the exercise of the rights, but also in the outcome. The outcomes should also be fair and just.
We are saying institutional policies must address equity and inclusion. That is, we are trying to achieve the 50-50 enrollment, promotion, everything we can think of, 50-50, chimpe, no trouble. And then leadership must play a leading role in policy development and implementation. But if you are not involved, sometimes driving the change is difficult. And then, of course, we have to provide resources through our strategic plan to ensure that we don't need to have to. All that we want to do with gender, the strategic plan in our various institutions, we should factor it, provide resources. So as we are achieving the gender issues, we are also implementing our strategic plan.
Some of the problems were that women are not liked generally. Even our students don't like us.
But the first is to develop a policy document and standard operating procedures which are documented, if not already done. They should be clearly defined and be part of the institutional policy. For example, the affirmative action that we've talked about, quotas for students, etc. And for things like postgraduates, etc., and employment opportunities.
Some of the ladies also have poor attitudes, whether because of where they've reached or generally that's what they are. But if you don't have good interpersonal skills, obviously people don't like you, so they won't put you where they don't, to be their leader. And that is also an issue.
And another point to it is that when you get to a bit more higher, you realize that there's actually a glass ceiling that nobody sees because nobody is discriminated against. They tell you can be a VC if you want to, but till you put in, like the lady is saying, her papers, then you see that actually there's a ceiling.
To me, I think that women have not really understood that they have to be champions in society. They ascribe that portion to men, so it's all have to do with understanding.
But when it comes to positions, I don't think we always have to submerge the women that, oh, God says be submissive. In fact, on that platform, we all have the same pedal that we can contest for whatever.
So if a woman is vying for a certain position and this woman is considered a feminist, certainly the women will not follow her because they think she's going to be bossy, she's going to be insulting, disrespectful generally.
And in doing that, then it will make the work of gender mainstreaming very, very easy because you can have somebody who will represent the unit and make sure things are done. Then in the unit, what is supposed to happen? She talked about strategies strategies that is aligning it to the KNUST vision, mission, and the objectives, so that whatever this gender unit seeks to address must be in tandem with our vision, our mission, and our objectives.
You can imagine when I started, the kind of things I went through compared to her time. When I started, I was so shy, and I didn't want anyone to know I had a PhD in gender for fear of being battered, because it was coming all the time. So I decided I won't let anyone know what I did. When it comes to gender at KNUST, I never talked. But when I go to Legon and other places, yes, then I'm very active. The concept of gender mainstreaming is the process of assessing the implications for women and men of any planned action, anything you want to do. Any planned action, including legislation, policies, or programs in any area and at all levels. It is a strategy for making the concerns and experiences of women as well as men an integral part of the design. Look at the areas where they are saying you have to include it.
As an institution of excellence, we state that the university is in its pursuit for equal opportunity for all shall regard sexual harassment as discriminatory and unacceptable behavior. The university will treat any act of sexual harassment as a serious matter which may lead to disciplinary action. Perpetrators within the university environment could be dismissed from the university. And all members of staff and students will be responsible for ensuring that no one, including both staff and students, suffers from sexual harassment in the university.
All right. So we have the head of the gender desk at MIDA, that's the Millennium Development Authority. She was our main speaker for today. We've also got Professor William Otu Ellis, who is a former Vice Chancellor of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And then we have a number of gender activists, including Professor Ibok Odro, who is a former provost of the College of Science here on KNUST campus. In addition to that, we have several lecturers from several universities across the country, and also from the CSIR research institutes that we have in Ghana here.
Yes, they are doing well. In fact, we run a complementary program in the organization I work in, Millennium Development Authority. So we have internships and mentoring for the young women from all the tertiary universities. And so Wisdom offers mentoring. So they are our partners in that program. Yes. So what we want to do is we work in the energy sector. So we want to make sure that there are women professionals in the energy sector. Sometimes they get discouraged because it's a man's world, and then they leave. So by offering them mentoring, how to navigate the discrimination and difficulties there, they are encouraged to stay in and even finish the program. Now we're trying to work with ECG so that they can go to their training schools and then they will offer them full time.
My take-home message is that gender mainstreaming is a prerequisite for national development. Yes, and the fact that it also makes business sense. Yes, so those are the key things that resonated with me. And the fact that we have to wear a gender lens so that we are not gender blind to the situations that we are dealing with in academia, in research, and all of that.
What I am taking home is these practical ways to mainstream gender. What I've also learned is that women are capable, but we also don't need to antagonize men. We need to see men as our partners, as people who can partner women to be able to achieve the goals of sustainable development, recognizing that women are just one side or one proportion of the population. We need to partner men in order to achieve the goals of gender equality. Thank you.
This program has taught me some lessons, how to groom women up, how to support women at home, their nature, their habit in which they live, their character. From this, personally, I have known that women are more important. We need to bring them forward in anything we might be doing.
I have learned here that we need to put people in the higher level of the institution to be able to champion this agenda. And so I believe that this will help us a lot. This is actually what we need. And I think when I go back, that is one thing I'm going to champion. In fact, we have put up a proposal now that we are lobbying with management. And so what we have learned here will help us to push it further and make it come to fruition.